You're watching EVH and Gear TV, brought to you by Stewart Travel Guitars. See the incredible stowaway travel guitar at stewartguitars.com. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones. And official Van Halen merchandise is provided by VanHalenStore.com. Here's your host from Ontario, Canada, EVH artist Eric Broadbent.
Hey guys, how you doing? Which camera am I looking at? There we are. Let's switch cameras here. How you doing? Happy Saturday evening to you. A little bit of an impromptu live broadcast. Been working on what Helix tonight and on a preset. Been working on this forever actually, and really liking it. I just want to go live, kind of test it out a little bit. It's the Versatile VH patch I'm working on, and until recently I didn't have a wah kind of associated with it, and I'm at the point right now where I like this wah that I have in here just as much as I love my EVH signature wah. So check this out. I'm going to show you what it sounds like. I can't really show you what it looks like because the pedal's down below, but all I'm using tonight is 100% Helix. And I've got a Mission Engineering expression pedal controlling the wah feature. And what's really cool about it is I've got so many blocks assigned on the Helix preset that I've made, that I can't actually even turn my wah pedal off. So I found out through a friend, through Chad Boston, there's a configuration setting where you can, let's say your wah pedal or your expression pedal is like from 0 to 100 in range. You can say to it, like you want it to engage at about maybe 2%, right? So until you actually rock that wah to that 2% mode, it won't even come on. And then you can also say when you're done with that, when you rock it back, how long do you want to wait for that wah to go off? And I've got it set for like something like 300 milliseconds or something very, very short. And I think that's actually too short. I'm going to bump it up a little higher. But to give you an idea, listen to this for a sec. Okay, so this is off. It's not a bad wah, is it? That's using the Weeper setting, which is kind of like the Crybaby setting, and I think to me it sounds just like the EVH wah. I'm quite happy with it. Really happy with it. As I kept my foot there, after about 300 milliseconds, it goes off. So let's try that again. It's off. Isn't that cool? So on this Van Halen preset that I've got, if I go into stomp mode here, I'm using what I call just a simple delay on here. Lots of plate reverb. Lots of reverb, heavy reverb. Okay. And then if I want to pop on my phase 90, a simulated phase 90. Not bad, right? Let's change cameras. So there's your phase 90 through Helix. And I've even got a flanger in here too, simulating the old vintage MXR flanger or the EVH flanger. And I've got it set, which is cool. Instead of like stepping on the flanger when you want the effect, all I'm doing is it's called like a momentary. So I hold my foot on the pedal while I want it there. And as soon as I want the effect to go off, I take my foot off. So example like this. Okay, so for your typical thing like this, see if I can do this without letting my guitar fall. Not bad, right? And if I want to use a proper delay for that, let's switch it actually. Let's go to a tape delay and slam the front of the amplifier. So now we've got this. And I've been joking about that a lot recently because I'm not one of these guys that likes the analog delay and especially slamming the front of the amplifier. I really like digital delays in the loop of an amplifier, but I'm training myself to get these older Van Halen sounds to have that, that you know, the tape delay or Echoplex or whatever slamming the front of the amplifier. So that's just another delay. I'll pop on with the same preset that I'm working on. That's why I call it Versatile VH. Very versatile Van Halen. So if you're a gigging musician and you had to go cover some, you know, 3 or 4, 5 Van Halen covers, maybe in a set, like, or several sets for the night, you could pretty much use this one preset and cover everything from David Lee Roth era to Sammy Hagar era. So like what the same sound. Okay. Watch this. I'll pop on my pitch detune. And of course a wah. So a very versatile Van Halen sounding thing. I did have another pitch change on here as well too, and I think I've taken it off since. Let's go back to the modern delay, which is pretty cool. One sec here. Take off the pitch detune. Modern delay is a lot longer. Oh, come on, Eric. Get it right. Let's try that again. So with Eruption, you either get it or you don't get it, and I was 1/3 of the way there. I'm okay with that. A couple questions. Let's jump over to the chat for a second. But the tone—that's what I'm trying to show you is the tone, and I do like the tone a lot. That's at a higher gain there, so let's bring that back to the rhythm channel. So obviously my beautiful Nocturnal Butterfly is here. Alan Newman is here. Carlos Santon. Hey, everyone, sounding good, Eric. Thank you. Scott Connor. Jason Wade is here. Jason said Eric is going to be on fire tonight. I can see. Thank you, Jason. I don't feel like I'm on fire tonight. I'm feeling, it's cold. It's a little colder now. I was going to start cranking on the heat, I think. It's that time. I'm always a Scrooge. I keep the heat off until we have our third snowfall. Let me see here. So Phil Parmley is here. Heck yeah, brother. Carlos says, what patch is that you're playing through? Is that your EVH? Yeah, that's my Versatile VH patch. And it's coming along pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. It's not 100% there yet, but it's getting there. I'm actually, the reason why I'm being so picky about this one is I'm going to be giving this preset condensed in a condensed form to Jennifer Batten. She's picking up the HX Stomp, so I have to condense it to fit the Stomp, which is, less blocks and things like that, because she needs a good Eddie Van Halen Beat It guitar solo patch, and so I'm working with her to make this really work for her. So hopefully we'll have that done soon, and then of course I get the benefit of keeping the preset too, which is cool. Mel O'Brien, hey everybody, it's about 3:40 a.m. in West Cork. Boy, oh boy, that's late. Happy Saturday, guys, from Nocturnal. Sounds good from Mel O'Brien. Francisco and Costa, hey, watching from Brazil. Thank you for watching from Brazil. Appreciate it. Terry says, surprise live show. Yeah, this wasn't planned. About what time is it now? Around 10:30, I said to Nocturnal, I'm going to go live for a little bit. Just felt like it. Had a fun show last night with Courtney Cox, guitarist. Phenomenal fun show. And it went really, really well. She got to show us some licks and riffs and stuff like that, which was cool. Got a Helix Hour show tomorrow, and I'm really happy. We just hit 10,000 views on the Helix HX Stomp video that Jason Sedites and I did less than a week ago. 6 days ago tonight, we did the video, and it just hit 10,000 views tonight, so I'm very excited about that. That's awesome. I'm really, like I say, excited. Let me see. Sean Zimmerman's here. Hey, Eric, Nocturnal Butterfly, Terry, Jason. And Carl said, that's a good wall. I need to get an expression pedal. Yeah, get the Mission. You know what I really, really would like to do is I'd like to stripe. I hate to do it because these pedals are so cool, but I'd actually like to stripe the Mission like a black and yellow like the EVH wah, because to me, it sounds just like the pedal, just like the pedal. I'm to the point right now where I'm using all Helix. It's pretty cool. It's a graduation for me because it's been hard to let go of some of this other stuff. It's very tough. Like almost getting counseling tough. Let me see here. Mel O'Brien, just watched Leafs highlights. Feeling good. This is a nice way to end the evening. Oh, cool. And this won't be long. I promise it's not going to be long. I'm going to show you a couple new riffs I'm working on that I really like because it was inspired by this preset. And I'll maybe play 1 or 2, maybe 3 band songs. We'll see how that goes. I'm playing with a guitar that I can't drop. I don't have the detune on here, so it's going to be everything that's going to be in half step down, and that's about it. Let me see here. And I've been playing the Kramer a lot more lately. As Nocturnal will say, this guitar has been the mojo for me recently. I love it. I love it. Fender Guru is here. Phil Parmley. Terry fell asleep during the Leafs game. Soda Pop is here. Nice to see you. He says, hey, Eric, buddy. Let me see. Who, if I'm missing anybody? Getting close to the bottom there. So everyone's saying sounding nice. Thank you, Fender Guru. I like that. It's great. Jason Wade, that Kramer was a good choice, sir. Yeah, it is. It's a mojo guitar for me for sure. The only thing I haven't done yet, I've got the Futone stainless steel inserts in the Floyd, but I haven't put the brass block on here, and I know this thing's going to come to life when I do that. So that's coming up next. I agree on the choice for sure. Dan Halen is here. Henry Macias, take your whiskey home. Or how about this? There you go. That's kind of fun. I'm digging this preset. I was joking. I said I could live on this preset for the rest of my life, and then we got hundreds more we can put in Helix. So it's fun. It's fun. Like, why would you not want one of these things? I'm checking when I thought Cox was funny when she said could hit a simple lick. Yeah, exactly. You know, someone that talented, and then you miss a riff, right? They all do it. They all do it. Phil Parmer, which expression pedal do you use? I'm using the Mission Engineering. I want to say, don't quote me on this, I think it's called the EP1L6 for line 6. If you go to their missionengineering.com and you go to expression pedals and in their specifics, you can look for line 6. And mine is the one without the toe switch. What the toe switch does is like you would have on a normal wah. By pushing it forward and clicking, it would disable the wah. But you don't necessarily need that. You can do like I do. You can auto-assign it. So as soon as you're done using the wah and you return it to a certain position and you say how many milliseconds you want to go off, that frees up some extra things you can do with it. So, and it's it looks just like a Crybaby. I'd love to pull it out and show you. But and then I have to unhook everything, but it's a really, really good pedal. I don't know the exact retail price on them. They're 100 and something, but they're bulletproof military grade electronics in them. Let me see here. David Jordan Peterson. Hey, Eric, glad to join you. Hearing some great tones. Thank you. Little Dreamer. I don't know that one anymore. I don't even want to try it because I'll butcher it. I used to know it, but I might. Oh yeah, I agree with you on that too. I'm second with too much reverb. Yes, it is. And it's something I can dial back easily. What the reverb was meant for on this preset was 100% eruption, because eruption is cavernous wet. You know. And that's not the right delay for eruption either. Okay. There's barely any delay on eruption. Where most people go wrong is they have that long delay on there and they're doing the tapping part, right? That's horrible. You don't want that. It gets in the way. It starts to fight one another. So you have this other delay, which is like this. It's barely there. So that's why you hear that reverb. So what I'm going to probably do there is I'm going to, for the main riffs, like rhythm snapshots, I'll probably bring the reverb back. And that's what's really cool with Helix snapshots, is all I have to do is click on the reverb. And then if I want to go to rhythm snapshot on a Mac, I would hit my option and then I'd click on the block and I would say, where do I want my depth of the reverb or the time? And it changes it. So now when I go from my lead snapshot to my rhythm snapshot, it's the same reverb. It's just turning back the like the structure, like the gain, or not the gain, but the level or the intensity and the mix. So I'll probably do that. But So there you go. I'm going to try to, oh, very cool. Phil Parmy says, cool, thanks. I'll be getting one. Jamie's crying would be cool, Eric. You know, they, I'm getting rusty, man. But it's hard to believe I played in a Van Halen cover band at one time. But I gotta practice up. Carlos Santos says, "Have you seen the video of Eddie screwing up Drop Dead Legs in the studio? It's hilarious. He sounded terrible." I did see that, and then Wolfgang was filming that. It was actually quite funny. You know, it goes to show you that even the kings, you know, have to practice. That's right, kings and queens. And Dan Halen says more of an echo and eruption. Yeah, and when I say delay, I've labeled it as delay, but it's a tape echo, is what it is on my Helix. But it's very faint. And see, this is my favorite tone to play on. Like I literally, because I love Van Halen too, but this is my sound that I like to play on. And I'll show you a new riff I'm working on, and I really like it. It all came inspired from this particular preset tone. No, sorry, wrong. So there you go. It's amazing how a preset or a tone can inspire you, and that riff just came from using this preset. Really, really like it. So a lot of times, I'm going to play one of my songs here. A lot of you know it. I'm going to play Loaded Gun, and I always say to people, oh, I can't play because I don't have my wah pedal. And so I've got the wah pedal now with the Mission Expression pedal using a wah and Helix, and I'll be able to do the... And listen how deep that wah is. That range is very throaty. So we're going to give it a try, see how that sounds. Let's see if I can call it up here. Yes, Carlo, it is using the placator. turn off my vocal mic too, because you're hearing a little bit of a this. You're hearing this, and that doesn't do the guitar justice. You're hearing some acoustic slap. Slap. Okay, let's give this a try. Godspeed. So there you go. And there was a question there, what wah was that? And that was the Weeper, and it's 100% stock. I'd like to say I went in there and did some mojo. I'm not going to lie. I hit Weeper. I went with the the V846 or V847, whatever, the Vox Clyde McCoy, whatever. That's one of my favorite wahs. And I did a shootout video on my channel between the Vox 840, I want to say 847, is that right? And the EVH, because I love them both. And I said there's no winner in those wah pedals. If you have the money, buy both. And I modified the one I used to have to be a true bypass. But what I'm getting out of Helix now with that Weeper wah, I've got everything I need in this thing. So I was using the EVH flanger before, and that's giving you this sound, right? When I was holding these chords. See, when I recorded that song twice in the studio with two different singers, the first time I told the engineer I want to use my EVH flanger, and for some reason he just didn't capture the sound right, so we left it off the record. Second time we recorded another singer, the engineer was able to capture it, and I always do that with I want that flanger on the D chord and the C chord, and it sounds perfect, and I'm getting every single thing I want from my pedal board in this, and there's no compromise. There's no one of these things where I'm like, oh, I can live with this. It's never one of those things. Like, everything I need is right here, and I haven't even scratched the surface with it yet. I mean, truly awesome. I haven't scratched the surface. I'm Sucking Wind says, nice change. Fender Guru sounds awesome. Poo Ninja's here. Rip it up. Rob M, nice. Thank you, Carlos. Says, great solo. And here's another one. So, pardon me, excuse me. A lot of times when I'm doing my music here on the show, I have a simplified rig, so I don't have the wah readily available. So I'm going to play another song here, which you guys probably know, Fantasy, and it's got a nice wah solo in it too, because it does like this. And then it does a long... that kind of stuff. That was really into Slash for a while, and I wasn't into Slash, but it was inspiring me. So I'm going to play a song called Fantasy, and I'll let you hear the wah on that. And I just love the fact I can roll my wah back, and in 2 seconds, and it's off. It shuts itself off. Less than 2 seconds. That's 300 milliseconds, so what's that? Like, about almost a third of a second, kind of, say, almost a third, something like that. And Soda Pop says, what's Eric look like without the stash? Go back a few videos, about a month back. There's about 2 videos where I didn't have it. Actually, you can actually fast forward between weeks. In about 2 weeks, you see me go from no stash to having it back again. It's not pretty. And that's a killer wah. It sure is, man. It sure is a killer wah. I love it to death. Okay, let's turn off the vocal mic again, and let's try Fantasy, right? So there we go. Let's go back and read some of the comments. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun with the wah pedal. Where do we leave off? Soda Pop, Killer Wah from Sucking Wind. Terry says, go back a month or two in the back videos here. There's no mustache. Yeah, Bobby Clipper and saying hi to everybody. Fender Guru, hey, Eric, I got a split. No problem. Enjoyed the show. Cheers from New Zealand. Thank you. I know it's got to be a stupid, crazy time over there. Thank you so much. I'm very honored to have you. And Nocturnal says, freaks me right out. He's not allowed near me the first week. Scott Connor, that patch is sounding really good, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate it. We just got to get it sounding. Got to get it sounding good for Jennifer Batten. I'm working on it. Mellow Brian, take it easy, New Zealand. Soda Pop, I hear ya. Dan Halen later. Let's see here. Thank you, bro. You're hitting all the riffs tonight. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm second with Dan Halen. Eric, does a Kramer have medium or jumbo fret wire? I think it's jumbo. Technically, I think it is jumbo fret wire. Have a look. Let me see that. It's probably hard to see, but yeah, I think it's considered jumbo frets. It looks like the jumbo frets that are on my Wolfgang Standard. So yeah, big frets on it, and it's a fun guitar to play. It's a really fun guitar to play. I asked Nocturnal Butterfly. She's been seeing me play this one more than anything lately. And I'm not a floating guy. I normally don't like my trems floating, but I love this to death. Yes, and I'm in live chat. Yeah, and I'll say yes for sure. Yes. Getting text from the producer. Yep. Let me see. Soda Pop says, I'd love to jam with Eric. We'd have to try to do some online jamming sometime. That'd be fun. I'm totally up to it. Something about GitCon. Terry, imagine Eric at GitCon. I've never been invited. 2 years in a row. I think the mustache threatens them. I think that's what it is. Jerome DeJong, a great playing, Eric. Thank you. Appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Soda Pop says Solar's killer. Powell Guitars. Crema. We got a Crema. And David Jorgen, I'm starting to learn more about drop D tuning from you. Nice. Thank you. And Terry says this year's GitCon was awesome. Yeah, I saw some stuff from Steve from Boston and Phil X and stuff like that. So that's very, very cool. Rocamp is here. Between the Kramer and the you said Eve, so probably EVH. Not a heck of a lot, because obviously Eddie based, a lot of his guitars, from the Ernie Ball Music Band to the PV to where we're at now, off of the Kramer 5150. A lot of that guitar was brought over, DNA, neck, everything like that. So there's, it's a competing brand. It's a competitor's brand, but there's not a heck of a lot. I mean, similar style neck. Pickup configuration, very similar. Obviously, the Wolfgang pickups are a lot hotter. These are the Duncan JB in the back, things like that. But two different guitars, but feel very kind of similar. 22 frets, that kind of thing. Just whatever your preference is. And it's nice for me just to mix things up a little bit. And that's why I really like playing the Kramer. Fred Siegel says, we could probably do it through Skype. I'm just not sure the latency. So if I'm playing, someone wants to take a lead, I'm not sure if we'd have any latency, but we'll try it. We'll do a practice session sometime. I'll pick a few of you guys, and we'll do a practice. Maybe not necessarily live in case we really ruin it and the technology doesn't allow us to do it. But we'll try a private one, and if we get that to work, then we'll beta test it, and then we'll launch it. So I'll pick on some of you guys. I don't mean pick on you. I'll call on you, and we'll try a little session. And then I can't guarantee it's going to work. If it does, we'll have some fun with it. Stan Adams is here. Nice. Victor Futura just tuned in. Sounds effing awesome. Greetings from New York City. Hello, New York City. Let me see here. Marcello is here, man. Good to see you, my friend. And I think you sent me a message on Facebook. I've got a few messages I've got to catch up on. I'm getting really tardy on that, but it's hard to keep up with all the shows and stuff like that. So I have a message I got to check from you. I'm going to see that. And Jason Wade says, you can see Eric hangs out around the first 5 frets under the side of the neck. Already has finish wear on it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big rhythm player. I am working on something here. I'm not going to play this tonight because I'm going to butcher it. But at least I'm going to show you I'm getting close with the sound. Check this out. And this was hard for me to get on a Helix, just because of gain structures and stuff. But it's coming, and please don't judge me on this, but just judge the tone. All right, so it's coming. I'm not getting it right, but... It's one of those things, pat your head and rub your tummy. I used to cheat, right? I would rock the volume with my pinky and fret the notes. Eddie does not do that. Eddie's this. So I can do it quite well with rocking with my pinky. Like I say, it's the preset that I'm working on, so the preset's coming. I still got to get, I'm very not ambidextrous. I cannot do the pat the head, rub the tummy thing at the same time. I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So for me, doing the way Eddie does it, see? So I have a very hard time with it. It's got to get it at the right time. It's horrible. Right, do it again. You get the idea. So anyways, but I'm getting the tone on the preset, which is the main thing. So we'll get there. We'll get there. There's no prize for first place, first to the finish line. I'm not sure why that's going to the clean channel every time I do that now. You know what I will try to do? Let's see if we can get away with this. Let's see if I can tune this down to a drop D, because this is a pretty darn cool song I'm going to play in a second. Oh, we have a guest from the Dominican Republic. Andon 5150. Greetings from the Dominican Republic. Which one do you like more, the two PVs versus the EVH in the back? Which is better? That better is subjective. I honestly, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to give an honest statement. Every guitar that's in this room, I love equally in some ways. There's always something about one of these guitars in this room that I just love. Maybe it's the color of one. Maybe it's the finish. Maybe it's the playability. I love everything from Eddie Van Halen. And so anything that Eddie Van Halen has something to do with, whether it be a Kramer back in the day, the PV50 or the PV Wolfgangs, which you can see, I guess, yeah, you can see two of them right there. That black one is actually, can you see this light here? Let me switch to the camera. Check this out. I haven't even been talking about this tonight. See that? That is actually the black guitar, wherever the black one is over there. That is a custom USA, well, I shouldn't say it's custom. It's a stock USA PV Wolfgang from 1997, patent pending, and then I customized the living heck out of that guitar, and it was the very first one into Canada, one of the first, if not the very first, and then I had it customized for my band. Chrome pickup rings. Let's switch back to camera for a second. So first of all, that is a Diodac Ghost Guitars custom guitar that's going to be available for sale soon, but he has all kinds of other ones, Steve Vai, Steve Morse, all that kind of stuff that was sent to me from Roger. It's going to be available for sale soon, but it's a replica of that guitar right there. So that PV has been with me since through hell and back again, and several times over. It's a amazing playing guitar. The only reason why I'm not playing that one tonight, for some reason, my wireless that I'm using the Line 6 G10 relay wireless. I love it. And it's got, there's an adapter, like a right angle adapter. And for some reason, it doesn't sit in the PV very well. So maybe I have a bad jack in the PV. I'm not quite sure. So I think that's the only reason why I'm not using it tonight. That, plus I love the Kramer. So thank you for tuning in from the Dominican Republic. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Rocamp says, ever thought of trying to get Seymour Duncan pedal power amp with the Helix? Thanks for all your input. I've heard some conflicting reviews on that. If that's, you're talking about the one with the big knob on it, it's a solid state type of a preamp or a power amp. It sounds okay at a certain level. Then when you get to like high volumes, I've heard people say that it clips and distorts. So I really have no need for that. As you can see, if I go back to the other camera, you can see I've got two of the Line 6 power cabs, one there and one there running in stereo. So I really don't have a need for that. If I really want to get loud, I run through the power cabs. And a lot of times, what you can't see behind my screens here, I've got two large PreSonus, what screen am I on? Aris E8 studio monitors, and they sound beautiful too. Really nice. Let me see, Rob M sounds good. I'm thinking making the tones are almost as fun as playing. When it comes together, it's awesome feeling. I spent hours making patches. Yeah, that is fun. It's just getting in there, turning knobs and doing stuff. And Helix is so easy. If any of you are here sitting on the fence thinking about, I'd like to buy a Helix, and you know you're scared or something like that, it's as easy as someone giving you, okay, so let's say you're going to go buy a Helix, right? So you got that $1,500 or whatever it is you're spending on a Helix, depending on which part of the world you're in, 2,000, whatever here in Canada. You go and you buy those bunch in pedals. You got a couple Boss pedals, a couple Strymon pedals, blah, blah, blah. And you come home, it's as easy as putting those pedals in the order you want on your pedal board. It's that easy on Helix. It is no kidding. And you can move things wherever you want them, still keep them in certain... It's just kindergarten simple. You will not be disappointed. That's one of the things I like about the learning curve. Is great. I'm Second Wind says, bro, do you think EVH would ever come on your show? I would love to have him on the show. I know he has questions from me already. They've been sent to him. But I can't see any benefit for him coming on the show because, you know, it would have to be very, very kept tight because there's going to be everybody in their next door neighbor asking questions in chat. When are you going on tour? When's new music? Why did you get rid of this person? Blah, blah, blah. So Van Halen can't win in the press's eyes, in my opinion. So if that ever happens, it's probably going to be, if it does happen ever, it would probably be a kind of a non-live interview, get a chance to review it, have it edited, and then on the show. But who knows? I'd love it. I'd love it as much as you guys and girls would for sure. The invitation's always open. Let me see here. David Jorgen says, I have 100 guitars, love each one a different reason, but it takes a while to play each one, like a 4-month cycle. I can imagine when you have a ton of guitars, like there's some in here that don't get played often. And when you do play them, you feel, that's what I like about that one. Like I'm looking around the room right now, and everyone has a very, very special place in my heart for sure. Yeah, I'm Second Wind says, I want to buy one of the old school PV bass made in USA. Nice. Very cool. Mel's got a Music Man Access Sport 98, same color as your PV on the left. Nice. Creamy distortion from the EVH pickups. Very, very nice. And I appreciate that. Poo Ninja says, gotta give a thumbs up before you leave every night. Everybody, thank you. Appreciate that. And Michael at the bottom, Michael says, that reminds me of David Chastain's. Cool. Jason Wade says, I have to use the extender for my G10 and my Gem as well. Yeah, you'd have to get it in there. Even on the Strat style guitar, you have to get it in there. Kind of. Actually, you know what I did though? Let me show you this. This is cool. This is really cool. If I can get it without trashing anything. Check out what I did here. This is kind of MacGyvering things. Okay, so I took a George L's cable, right? George L's cable. And I have a 1/4-inch coupler, a Switchcraft coupler, right? So, you know, I could probably do this. I could probably grab the Wolfgang. It might not be in tune, but let's give this a try. This is cool. So check this out. Let's get rid of the 1/4-inch adapter. So look at this. Tell me this isn't cool. Is that not cool? And an good old-fashioned hockey tape. Hockey tape. Canadian hockey tape. So you want me to give it a try? Let's see what we can do here. Give me a sec. So that's a pretty cool thing. And that's Canadian innovation. All right, let me try this real quick. I'm putting headphones down. Okay, one second. I can't hear anything. Hello, hello. Okay, we're good. All right, not too bad. So I'm probably not in tune with the songs, but it'll be in tune. So let's try this. because I was saying the little elbow connector didn't want to go in the PV here very good. That's why I wasn't playing it. So yeah, Jason Wade says very ingenious. Yeah, thank you. I thought that was pretty cool. And I know the Line 6 guys and people in the Line 6 forums were like, that's pretty cool, man. And just the right length of cable. I had to, I didn't want to have too long a cable and I didn't want to have too short. So I cut it to the right length. All right. Plug it in. And all I got to do now is take this, stick it right here. Can you see that? You can too. Watch this. Boom. Now we're wireless. Look at that. And she works perfect. No, it doesn't. I got a bad jack on the PV. That is a bummer. Yep, it's a bad jack on the PV. See, I'm not getting my full gain. That's a bummer. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll do a switch. We'll grab another guitar. We'll grab another Wolfgang. So it is the jack on the Wolfgang. I'm gonna have to take that apart and give it a little bit of a cleaning. This guitar has been abused a lot, so that's probably where it came from. Let's mute this so you're not getting blasted by. There you go. Let's get rid of that for you. All right, just so we can play a Wolfgang, we'll use an EVH Wolfgang Standard, and we'll still use the wireless in the same capacity and see if we're working now. I'm sure we will be. And hopefully we're somewhat in tune. Probably won't be able to play with a record or anything like that, but we'll find out. Let's see what we got. Seems like I'm missing some gain now. I think what it was. I think my watt pedals are. You know what? I think we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to where we were. Yeah, let's go back to the Kramer. Okay, this is the last guitar switch, and then we're gonna wrap up because I'm sure you guys are bored of watching me switch guitars. One sec. When in doubt, always use what works, right? And this was working before. Could be dirty contacts on here as well too, because there's a little switch on here as well too. It's like kind of like the silent switching, right? And it might just not be touching the right spot on the Wolfgang. It was working great before, but yeah, it just seems to work great in the Kramer, doesn't it? So Kramer it is for tonight. And Michael says, was I ever a David Chastain fan? Not really. Not really. I don't know enough about him, to be honest with you. So something I have to discover for sure. All right. So what I was trying to do a minute ago is I was trying to tune this down. Okay, we're going to give this a try. This is probably going to be one of the last. We'll do 2 songs for you and we'll wrap up. All right, so let's just lock that down. That's the only thing I do miss about the floating, about not floating trem is I can't do the drop D, right? And that's a bummer. But hey, if that's the biggest problem I have to live with, I think I can live with that. Okay, so let's see what we got for a level. Thanks for hanging out, folks. I'm not even going to be in tune with it. It's not going to happen. Because what happened, obviously, as you know, I bring back that D, and the trem floats backwards, and then we're back to we're back to out of tune again. Yeah, we'll leave it. I'm gonna figure out what that wireless issue was, and then we'll try another guitar another night. Okay, so let's try this for fun. We'll do a pretty song. We'll play Pass You By. How's that sound? All right, we'll give it a try. All right. And yeah, Rocamp says I need a detuner, but if I do a detuner on this with a floating trem, I've got to use some of Adam's special, I forget what they call them, like a magic black box or something like that. It's a special spring mechanism that will hold the bridge in place, so when you go to D, it doesn't tip back. Not a trem stopper, but it's a special spring mechanism, and I forget what he calls it. I won't allow you to pull back on the trem, but Romeo Delight says, I'm thinking of getting a Helix or head rush. What does the Helix do better than head rush? I'm not educated to say, and I would sound like I'm biased if I said Helix is better than head rush. I've never played a head rush yet, so I can't give an educated answer on that. But from what I hear a lot in the community is they like the amp sounds and the effects more of Helix. Now, it's certainly not slamming head rush. And, you know, people have asked me, Eric, why don't you do demo videos on all of them, like the Fractals, the head rush, the Kempers, the Helixes and things like that. I'm just so happy in a world right now with Line 6 stuff, and it's not fanboy, as I hate that term. I'm just so happy with it that I don't want to look at anything else. But they look good on paper. The cosmetic, they look good on pictures and stuff like that. I know people that are using them. There's got to be something good about them for sure. So I'm not going to say anything bad about them. And I'm uneducated to give a good answer on that. So I'm just saying I like Helix a lot. Yeah, 6 albums a year. I think I did hear about that. So I wish I could answer you better there, Romeo Delight. Phil Palmer says, and thank you for jamming so late. Really enjoying your shows. I appreciate you staying here so late. Thank you. Yeah, and Phil's kind of giving some nods to Helix as well too. There you go, more like an amp. And I'm finding with this preset I'm playing right now as well too, I'm getting that fuzz like an amp breaking up. It's kind of hard to appreciate, but I'm hearing it here. It's like a sag. Something like that, but yeah, it does sound like an amp. Okay, so let's try this. We're gonna go to a clean channel. Give this a try. Okay, give us a try. This will be the last song. So there you go. And I missed a question. Nocturnal texted me by text message. Someone asked about helix and bass. Okay, so I know there's a bit of a delay here, and I'll answer that question, and then we'll wrap up. Can someone repeat whatever it was about helix and bass? I'd be happy to help you. Rocamp, Eric sounds awesome. The Kramer you're playing. What is the list price on that one? I don't know the list price on it. To double check it, if you're from the United States, go to store.epiphone.com. Or go to Sam Ash. I think they sell them as well too. I don't know the list price. I think they're, please don't quote me, somewhere around $850, $900 US dollars, and around 13, something like that Canadian. But I don't want to quote you higher or lower because I don't know. So I'm not sure on that. I'm sorry. That was so great. I had the volume mix just right, so it was like a backing track to play leader. Awesome. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Helix rocks for bass. Yeah, Daryl McMillan. I think someone was asking about bass, but indeed, it's great for bass. There's all kinds of bass presets in it. There's everything. Oh, here's how I can tell you how good Helix is for bass. I've had Chris Robertson from Blackstone Cherry on the show 2 times, once as a regular guest and once as a panelist guest on a roundtable the other night. And the last 2 records Blackstone's Cherry recorded were using 100% Helix. And I'll tell you why, the bass part, when we get to it in a second. So, Chris is a PRS artist. He has access to all kinds of amplifiers, from, boutique to, regular everyday amplifiers and all kinds of stuff like that. So all the guitars are recorded with Helix. They had an Ampeg, I think they said like an A10 SVT, an Ampeg head. They recorded all the bass parts with that. And then he did them again with Helix using, this is what's funny, using the same thing but in Helix. So the Ampeg A10 with an SVT head in Helix, and they chose to use Helix version better than the real thing. So what does that tell you? And that's for bass. Billy Sheehan has presets in Helix. There's a couple of them called the Busy One, and so it's basically like his old Ampeg, and he was always running with his Yamaha bass he plays. He runs 2 outputs, 1-to-1 rig, which is kind of high range, high end, kind of distortion and stuff like that, and then the other pickup goes off to another rig, which is more the low end stuff like that, and so that's now modeled into Helix as well too. There's everything you can think of from all the famous amplifiers for bass guitar, and I mean, really, technically, if you were in a pinch, the guitar player or the bass player could own 1 Helix in your band, and you could assign 2 different paths. And the guitar player could take path 1, the bass player could, take path 2. You could share a Helix if you absolutely had to. It's been done before. But, everybody would like to have their own, I'm sure, because one of those guys gets to take it home and the other one doesn't. So, Helix on bass, 2 words, Billy Sheehan. Yeah, you nailed it, Daryl. You nailed it. There you go, Billy Sheehan. Romeo Delight says, I have the Kramer Vintage Tiger version. Amazing sounding guitar, maple body, so it does have some weight to it. Yeah, it's a heavy guitar. So listen, it's late. It's almost the midnight hour here in southwestern Ontario, Eastern Standard Time anyways. We're back tomorrow with a really fun Helix Hour show. I've got Nick Rush. He's a Yamaha and Line 6 artist from South Africa, which is really, really cool. And he's a tremendous player. Even if you're not a fan of Helix products, if you're not a consumer or a fan of it, you're a fan of guitar, you wouldn't be here on the show. Come and check it out. And that's one thing. Don't be alarmed if you're not a Helix consumer or an advocate of the product. Don't let that scare you away. Just come and watch and listen to some great discussion with guitar players. And I'm certainly not trying to sell you a product. I'm trying to provide you with a nice, entertaining 60-minute show and just talking guitar tone. You might learn some techniques and things like that. And then, of course, there'll be some Helix discussion as well. But it's more about, guitar. It's all about guitar. Michael says, thanks for having me in your jam. No problem. Billy Sheehan was asked to join Van Halen twice. That's correct. There was discussion of that. He talked about it on my show. I've had Billy here on the show twice too. Very, very cool. Don Campbell says, just made it from Michigan. I'm so very sorry, Don. I am just taking off, and I apologize because this wasn't a regular scripted, regular scheduled show. So we're gonna wrap up. But it might be cool for you to go back and replay. There's a couple times where I got up and changed guitars, so that's boring. You can hit fast forward and play at double speed if you want. Mel Bryan, great evening, early morning, Eric. The dogs are unconscious, the cattle are quiet. No problem. 3 o'clock tomorrow Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Pacific. Helix Hour is going to be a fun show, and we're lined up all month long for EVH and Gear TV. We're going to try to get the Kramer Corner going back into steady momentum as well. Rocking Dead, a couple guests coming on that show as well too. everyone. Rob M says, thank you, Eric. Great show. I appreciate it immensely. I'm going to say goodbye to you and good night. Happy Saturday evening, almost Sunday, wherever you're from. And we will see you very soon. And I'm very appreciative of you tuning in at this late hour and spending time with Nocturnal Butterfly and I and the rest of the family here, the cool people in the chat. You guys really brought it tonight. A good bunch of people, and I'm very appreciative. See you real soon. Until next time. Cheers.
Hey, you're still here? Eric Jr. here, reminding you to check out our full lineup of quality merch. Available right now in the Broadstash Boutique. Quality products and fast shipping. Visit broadstash.com today.
I am now on Patreon. If you enjoy my content and wish to support my channel and what I do, then please check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/EVHGearTV. Your support assures the continued growth of this channel and a fun community in which to share our love for Van Halen, music gear, and much more.
My name is Eric and I play Wolfgang guitar.
Video production services provided by Design39 Media. Visit design39media.com for all your website, photography, and video production needs. Microphones for EVH and Gear TV are provided by Rode Microphones, and official Van Halen merchandise is provided by VanHalenStore.com.